Hey guys, this is GamerCal. Welcome to the second Monster Hunter tutorial I have. This is specifically for G rank, but this particular map also appears at high rank, so you could use it there as well. I just don't have as much knowledge about what armor spheres you can get at that rank. I think it's hard and advanced spheres, rather than the heavy and strong spheres we'll get here. But that's more for your own research to go into that. We're going to specifically focus on the G rank stuff here. So, the quest that we are going to do to maximize our heavy armor sphere collecting is the Nighttime Dunes Harvest Tour. In order to get this, you have to do the All You Can Hunt Remoba quest first, which is not especially difficult to do, they just sometimes take a while to appear, so just stick with it, hunt with other people if you can, it makes it a lot less tedious to do. And eventually, once you have cleared that out, you gain access to this harvest tour here. So there's a specific route that we can take around this map in order to get all of the mining spots without any issues whatsoever. Because if you wait about 3 minutes on a map, I think it's 3 to 3.5, somewhere around about there, then your mining spots will start disappearing. There are some which are always around, but there are many which appear in different locations every time you go in. Some of these can occasionally be pink and then, one hunt and then blue in the next, but for the most part, they will all disappear after a few minutes. Our goal is to collect all of those first and then go back round and collect all the ones which are always there. So that's exactly how we are going to set this up, and I will demonstrate how that works in the quest itself. Now, in order to get our gathering stuff set up, we need to eat the proper food. So any fish and any dairy stuff that you have will will give you these particular skills here. At least they give you the chance for it. If you don't have a prime ingredient or you don't use a gourmet voucher, you're never guaranteed to get all of the skills that you see here. But essentially, Gatherer and Woodsman are the feline equivalent, the food buff equivalent of Gatherer and Whim, respectively. They do help out if you can get them, so do try and pick them up. And before we go, I'll just quickly show the skills and the item stuff I carry into my gathering quest stuff here. Item wise, a lot of these are more tailored towards the volcano than the dunes here, but if you don't have entirely fresh ingredients, you may want to take an energy drink, especially if you don't have the stamina skill and you don't want to use dash juices. Then take an energy drink so you can regain your stamina and have a maxed out bar, because you'll need to do a lot of running through this, and if you don't have Marathon Runner, then you will run out of stamina during this, so do make sure you have that. There is always a monster, a large monster. Usually Pink Raytheon is in this quest. Depends on where you are as to what monster it is, but you don't want it interrupting your mining. You are very low on defense here, even lower because I'm using part of the gunner setup, so you want to make sure you can get rid of a monster if it decides to gate crash you, and sometimes it will. So dung bombs are always good to have around. Smoke bombs and Farcaster, this is specific for the Volcano Harvest Tour, but I just have it in my general gathering set so I don't have to register more items. The smoke bomb is good for stopping the Tetsukaba in the Volcano Harvest Tour from spotting you whilst you try and get all firestones. And the Farcaster is really good there because it takes forever to get back to the starting map. Now, because you have to climb up all the stupid hills and stuff. If you are doing Sunken Hollow stuff, you may also want to have a Farcaster for that as well. You do not need it for the Dunes tour, however, because we will basically end our mining at the start of the area, so that's fine. And then pickaxes, bug nets are fairly obvious. I don't actually tend to get bug farming do bug farming stuff anymore, but it's worth having them around anyway. So the armor that I'm using here is the same stuff I described that from my previous video about all the gathering sets that I have made, and stuff you can make for every rank. And this was basically my go-to for a while because I didn't really know about the power of Charm God, and I didn't have the arena quest stuff done for the feline hairband, so I couldn't actually make a Charm God set. So this uses the Pack Rat combined skill, which is Gathering +1 and Charm Collector. So sometimes you'll get multiple charms from mining them, and you also gain some extra item, or potentially get more chances to get items from mining spots and other gathering places. The Marathon Runner is just really handy to make sure you never run out of stamina during this quest. Again, you have to run around the whole map twice, so you do take a lot of stamina up. It's not essential, but when you don't know the layout as well, then it's definitely something to pick up and use. And then we have Divine Whim for my talisman, so that I don't have as many breakages on my gear, and Speed Gatherer because you really need Speed Gatherer for this. Marathon Runner, you don't need Speed Gathering, you absolutely do, because if you don't have this, you'll take twice as long mining spots, and it will be really hard, if not impossible, probably impossible, to actually pick up all the stuff in time. So make sure at least you have Speed Gather, and preferably Gathering God if you don't have a hoarding set, but I like the extra charm chance as well, so that is pretty much my gear. So, with that said, let's get straight in to the gathering itself. Now, you do want to take a specific route, as I've said, and we're not even going to pick up the map or anything here because I already know my way around. But you don't want to go up to start with. You want to just go straight ahead and make your way into map 7, I believe it is. The second of these big desert maps. You don't need to take a hot drink because you're not going to be staying in the area long enough. You will lose a little bit of stamina, but it comes at the end of the run, so it's not too bad. Now keep an eye out on this left hand side for a mining spot. It has been over here this time. It's occasionally next to the pink spot that you see at the top there. It'll either be pink or blue, and that pink spot at the top is always there. This is a fixed spot, so we will just ignore that one for now. The other spot, it may be just past here, so keep an eye out for it, especially if it's a blue one, because that's where you'll get enduring charms from. Now here, that blue spot up there is fixed, and sometimes there's a mining spot here. I did spot it over this way. If you see a spot that's straight ahead at the beginning, you know, one to the left of that blue spot over there, then do make sure you pick that up first, because the that blue spot that's on camera at the moment is fixed, but if it's a blue spot or even a pink one that's straight ahead when you enter the area, that is not fixed. So don't make that mistake if you can help it. Now the pink spot next to the cave there is actually a fixed one, so we will ignore that one. But we will go ahead and pick up this one over here, because this one disappears over time. Again, it can be pink or blue. It can sometimes appear down down next to the other one that's over there. And you can see we have collected a couple of heavy armor spheres here. So I should probably go into this a bit. The heavy armor spheres only drop from the pink orbs, or the pink mining spots, whereas the blue mining spots can drop strong armor spheres as well as the pink ones, but at a lower rate. The blue spot over there is a fixed one, so we will ignore that for now. This one over here, it can sometimes be along that wall, it can sometimes be further to the left here. It can actually sometimes be closer to the end here. We're getting kind of lucky with the heavy armor spheres as well, which is nice. It's around about a 19% chance, I think, to get them, the heavy armor spheres here, which is higher than any other map that I know of. Also, for a final note, this one on the left hand side here is the one that will disappear, and obviously Bernardo can paralyze you. That's kind of annoying, but whatever. We've picked up all of the ones that could disappear at this stage, so now it's just a case of going back and collecting the other ones. Sometimes that temporary mining spot will be here instead. Of course it can be pink or blue, so if it's pink then make sure you get it first, because you know then that it's the one that will disappear. And then once you actually make it out to here, we just have to go around and collect all the spots that we didn't get. Now sometimes Pink Raytheon is in this map, and if she's in here you probably just want to dumb bomb her and get rid of her, because otherwise she's going to get in your way a lot and it is not fun. And basically she can two-shot me right now with my armor, because she is also in frenzy mode. that's kind of annoying. So dung bomber if you need to get that spot, or you could just ignore the spot. It's not worth dying for, because that just takes a lot more time. If you don't bomb her there, she will tend to move to map 4, which is the next one we go in. Wow, that's kind of cool. 3 enduring charms in one go. But yeah, she will often end up just moving into this particular map, and that can also get problematic. So only shift her if you have to, but if she gets, in your way there, that's fine. You could bring flash bombs, because flash bombs would help you, stun her, so that you don't actually end up having to worry about it quite as much. But she can still hit you if she's flash bombed, she just can't see where you've gone. So, not quite as optimal a solution, but you can do it if you absolutely need to. So you've seen we've had maximum time worn charms for a long time here. That sometimes happens. You can only carry 10 charms at any one time, so you will often max out on them. It's not really too big a deal. It's just a wasted gather, unfortunately. The same happens with ancient shards, and that actually gets more annoying because they tend to only come from the blue spots, and it gets in the way. Now, the last 2 maps we go in here, 3 and 1, these both have permanent pink spots in them, so pick them up if you can. They tend to have more ice crystals than the other ones though, so you don't need to get these, although if you are combining for free shots, then that's really good. It's good to have the ice crystals. Finally, if you are here a bit earlier than we are, Pink Raytheon has actually just left this map and has moved on to 4. So if she doesn't appear in 7, where we were originally, coming out of the cave and stuff, then she will appear in here. And that's it. That's pretty much the exact route around that you need to take. By the time you get back, of course, the Poor Pass ticket has been here for about 4 minutes, so that is fine. You're looking at 5 to 6 minutes per trip, and usually you will get anywhere between 1 and 3 or 4 heavy armor spheres per run. We actually got really, really lucky on the heavy spheres this time, because we got 6, but it's very possible to only get 1, or not even get any if you're unlucky, but this is the most efficient way I have found to get heavy armor spheres, and boy have I gotten a lot of heavy armor spheres in my time, because that makes it sound really like ancient, back in my day type stuff, but I've made a lot of different armors and needed a lot of heavy armor spheres to run with them, so that's basically what we have got here. You can get raw meat, whetstones and stuff here. Do not take any of the nectars that you come across here though, because they really don't do you any good. Elemental nectars are just not very important to get. Finally, if you take your palicos with you, then they can gather stuff for you as well. The treasure palicos are not as good as you would think they are here, however, because you tend to be moving past the gathering spots too quickly. So I often find that they get distracted by other non-mining spot stuff, whereas the healing palicos setup that I have here, they just tend to stick with you and they gather more things as a result. So my personal experience, treasure palicos are supremely underwhelming for this, but my experience is not final. Look at that for a charm. Your experience may differ, so if you like the treasure palicos, then do make sure you take them with you, because they could be very good. So with that said, that is pretty much all I wanted to show for this. We have gotten ourselves some armor spheres, and that is the route that you should take round. So I think that will do this quick little tutorial here. I hope your gathering goes well, and until next time, this has been GamerCow showing off gathering spots in Monster Hunter, and we'll see you for the next one.